let's get to WWE Unreal, which debuted on Netflix on Tuesday. And I was able to watch the first two episodes. And I will say, episode one definitely grabbed my attention. Episode two could have been an email.
Could have been an email. Wow. I'm about halfway through episode two. So far, the highlight has been Jay getting checked at the door.
Yes. Yes.
The man was
that
like,
was it.
It's like, I was like, yo. I was like, first of all, like, the dude said, I got Mark Henry in the back of the guy. I was like, okay, who are you? I see the cameraman, but who are you? Are you the driver? Why you look like that too? And you can see Jay Mao that when they were pulled away, he was like, just let it go. Just let it go. But yeah, I enjoyed season episode one a lot. I'm a guy who enjoys like the how-tos of stuff. You know, how does a sausage get made? How do they do hot dogs? All that. I'm with that. I like that. I think that's kind of cool how it's made. Sometimes I'm not interested in it more than once. Sometimes I am. This is kind of cool. It's cool seeing the backstage conversations, the thought processes, the supposedly whys and the hows of where we get to where we get. You know, and also one thing I noticed in episode one I thought was real cool was Rhea Ripley. She is someone who is presented as the baddest person in the room, not just because of her looks, but because she could go out there and rip you in half with her bare hands, no matter who is walking around. She is presented as that, as this overly confident, just dominant woman. But then you see this show and she's like, yo, I this is crazy. This is so much. I think her having this vulnerable side is just going to add another layer to when we see the dominance. So now when I see her come out and I see her bring that big stomp and that look in her eyes and her whole swag come out, I'm going to be like, oh, she done flipped it. And, you know, there's an appreciation for it because you know now, yo, she's like, it took a lot for her to get to this. You could tell that, like, and this means a lot to her. So I thought that was really cool. And I think this will do a lot for somebody like a Rhea who's presented so dominantly on screen when you get the behind the scenes and see how vulnerable she really is. I think that's a nice dynamic balance. So for someone like her, I think this is going to do really well for her.
I think so too. I love the episode as well. Episode one, getting insight into Rhea and how she still has these like little panic attacks before her matches. That she's so nervous, wondering, oh my God, am I going to screw up? And then she comes out there and the switch goes off and she's the badass. She does the stump, as you said. She goes out there and she lip syncs her ass off to her theme song. And you see the confidence, but then you realize maybe 10 minutes earlier, she is panicking because she's scared that she's going to fall on her face. So the fact that she still struggles with that, knowing how good she is and great she is, it really speaks to how human she is, that she's like a lot of us who has self-doubt sometimes about what we're good at and how we can make a difference in our work. And she goes out there and she puts on this brave face and then she gains that confidence through her work in the ring. And it's really beautiful to see. So I loved her vulnerability and honesty. I loved her chatting with Damian Priest, who had to center her at some point during the Netflix premiere to get her ready for a match, get her to calm down, settle down, and just lock in. And she did eventually. But I go back to WrestleMania, I think about a year ago when it was her and Becky Lynch, that she also had a panic attack prior to her match. So it's something that she continues to battle. But I just think that is very brave of her to show us this and to know that when she goes out there, she is just giving us her all in more ways than one. I loved that profile of her. I did see snippets of Charlotte Flair. I think that people seeing Ashley's vulnerability is going to add to her babyface run on SmackDown in the weeks to come. Can't wait to see the Bianca Belair portions. So I'm looking forward to the WrestleMania build of it all. Episode 2, as I said, was basically a lot of exposition about the Royal Rumble. Not a lot of meat on that bone. Like, this was like WWE 24, and it was things I saw. Like, I saw the match. I saw this. Like, I lived through this 6 months ago. I don't need a redo. I dozed off doing episode 2. That's why it could have been an email to me and I could have read it and I could have moved on to episode 3, with all due respect. I did not need to see I show speed again.
So, a couple things. First of all, there's no respect given when you say that could have been an email. There's no. It's cool and that's fine, but there's no respect there. Okay, an email, no, not even a text. You know, you're not even reading no email when you first get it. You're like, let me see what the subject is. I'll get to that.
Yes,
later. A text,
subject
you at least
line,
check
Unreal,
that out.
episode 2. Never mind.
Exactly.
Let me just put this in spam.
See, so that's how you know complete disrespect. So let's just throw that out there off top. So I might just skip it. So I'm glad you might have just saved me an hour. But yeah, I am interested to see though what this does. Like, is this going to give it a boost? Are they going to start having 2 shows in the top 10? Like, I'm curious to see what this does. You know, some of my favorite episodes of the reality shows are like the reunions, where you get a little bit of the behind the scenes stuff. So this feels like a reunion every episode with some different people. But yeah, I like it, man. I think it's different. I'll see how I feel when I get all the way through episode 2. Right now, it's just a lot of Jey Uso and setting him up. And like you said, it's something we've already seen. But this Netflix audience, this could be good for them, because I wonder if this is a different audience, because this feels a little bit different than WWE. This feels more ESPN-esque, you know, as far as it feels more sports like, feels more, I almost want to say legit like, where it feels like you're really kind of seeing what's going on and how they make the decisions and whatnot. So that's what I'm curious to see, is if this kind of brings in a more sports oriented fan base to this product, as far as they're able to connect now more with the character because they're connecting with the person.
Oh, for sure. And who's producing it? Omaha Productions. That would be Peyton Manning. So he does have his hands on this as well as one of the producers, giving a sports like, yes, Peyton is making that bank as a producer now. So he got his hands on this. He's producing Quarterback 2, season 2 on Netflix, got his hands in the sports documentary bag. So he's making bank. Good for him. Hands on this project as well. And I'm looking forward to the next 3 episodes. Episode 2, like I said, email. I'm sorry, I said what I said. I was basically rewatching the Royal Rumble in 60 minutes or less. Like, it was literally frame for frame, bar for bar, what I saw. This could have been WWE 24, and it would not have made a difference to me. Very happy for Jey Uso, of course, but the episode as a whole did not do much for me. But I will say it's a nice glimpse behind the scenes of how things work in the writer's room. I see some representation. I see some ladies. I see some Black people working there. Nice to see. I would love to see more of that. Paul, Trips, whatever you want to call yourself. The worked and government names did make me laugh during the introductions. Hi, my name is Paul Levesque. They call me Trips. They call me H. They call me Paul. I'm like, whatever. Okay. Cody went by Cody Rhodes. CM Punk had many nicknames. All of them were interesting. Black Phillip was very interesting.
Nobody calls him that. Nobody calls him that. I'm sorry. He's never been called that. He just it just came off. It rolled off the tongue, and he was like, "Well, I'm here now." Nobody has ever called him that. Nobody called him that after that. And when he got home, AJ said, "What did you say?"
Very good question. I was like, okay, we could have kept that last nickname, but he was rolling. He was just freestyling, so he couldn't help himself. I'm looking forward to the Dwayne portions of the documentary as we get into John Cena's heel turn and Travis Scott's role at WrestleMania, and now his non-role in WWE. Are they going to air the unreal footage of that? Because I would love to see it. So I'm looking forward to the latter portions of the first season, and I'm looking forward to season 2 if they get one, because I do want to see behind the scenes of everything heading into next year's WrestleMania and bridging that gap. Shout out to Chris Park, Abyss, loved him. Bruce Pritchard can go somewhere. He can go somewhere.
He was very tolerable in this. He was
Whatever.
absolutely. Listen, I'm not a fan either, but he was very tolerant. I could take him much more in this than I could in like the any of the other docs. He was fine in this. Maybe it's because we didn't get a lot of them.
Thank God, but we have to watch the other episodes because he might overwhelm us. But I really enjoy Chris Park. I love him. And Michael Hayes, I have a conflicting history with you too. I was side-eye you forever. Mark Henry says hello, but you did all right too.
Who was the $1 million home guy that was hosting it? Who was that?
The $1 million home guy?
That's what he looks like. The guy from Netflix that owns the $1 million real estate place in New York.
Oh my God.
That's what he looks like. Who is that?
I don't know his name.
Oh, well, he was all over the show, so I didn't know who he was or if he had any. But every time I saw him, I was like, man, I know he's leaving here and going to sell somebody a home in New York right after this. I know that's what he's about to go do.
Okay. Of all the comparisons,
you can't tell me that man wouldn't be on the skyline on TLC. And they got this home right here, $1.5 million.
Trying to barter a home. Okay.
Look at it next time. Look at episode 3. Let's look at him.
All right. We'll tune in next week. And we'll probably have the rest of our thoughts on WWE Unreal. I plan to knock out the episodes definitely before SummerSlam. We'll reconvene and talk about it. If things got better, or could the rest of this been sent in an email? We'll see in due time. I hope not. But episode 2, email immediately. Delete, trash, spam. Yeah, that's what it was. That's what it was giving. But good behind the scenes glimpse into the day-to-day operations of WWE for sure. And we'll dive into the WrestleMania card that could have been heading into next week's show as well, because that card, wow, is fascinating in areas, I tell you.
Very different and very big.
That was a big ass show, man.
Yeah.
I mean, it could have carried over to midnight, that card stayed as it was. So maybe some stuff editing was helpful, but then I wonder, how did some things didn't make WrestleMania after all?
Supposed to get our Bianca Rhea this year.
We supposed to get it every year, and they take it from us. Damn you, Paul! Like, you need to stop putting it on the vision board.
It's okay though. We got a 5-star out of it.
That is true. We got a lovely compromise.
A classic
5 stars instantly, and I'm very happy about that. However, I need you to stop playing in my face. You've been teasing this match for 3 years, and you have failed to give it to me once.
Won't be this year.
Won't be this year. Might not be next year, but we'll see.
Okay, next year's a possibility. Next year's a possibility. This year, the agenda is clearly for them to replace Sasha Banks in every single one of the history books with Naomi. So I fully expect Naomi and Bianca to close out WrestleMania night 1.
Oh, okay. Well, listen.
I'm just saying right now, don't be surprised if that's the route we're heading.
I know. And then Naomi will give her flowers on the socials regardless. It will all backfire.
Oh, it's all going to backfire.
It's going to backfire spectacularly, because like Naomi's going to be like, listen, Mercedes, it's for you, girl. It's for you.
And Bianca probably retweet it.
Yes.
With kisses, hearts, and all that.
Exactly. They might do like Mercedes inspired gear, might have the hair. Like, they're going to do like a full on tribute if they try that.